Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of Die Cut December. My name is Natalie and today I'm going to create an eclipse card as a birthday card for my niece Olivia. These are the dies that I'm going to use, some large alphabet dies to spell out her name and some smaller happy birthday dies to add the happy birthday sentiment. From a card blank I've got white hammered cardstock and the dimensions are 8 1/4 inches across, 4.5 inches high. It's a bit of a random size. I just felt it would fit nicely with the die cutting that I'm going to do. I can create an envelope for it using my envelope punch board, and as I'm going to hand over this rather than post it, it really doesn't matter what size it is. It's not going to affect postage costs. The panel on the front that I'm going to die cut from is 7 3/4 inches wide and 4 inches high, and it leaves a nice little border around the outside. So to start with, I'm going to line up my dies. I'm not going to cut anything just yet. I'm going to line these up here because I want a rough idea of where my splashy watercolour is going to go, because that's what I'm going to do, is add some smushy, splashy vibrancy with colour. So I think I want it going like this. So I've got half the card will be blank and half the card on the diagonal will be splashy watercolour. For the splashing, I'm going to use Shaded Lilac, Distress Oxide and Picked Raspberry and my smusher. I am going to do a how to make a smusher video. I shall do that over the next few days and hopefully get that to you soon. But I'm going to start with the lightest colour first. This is going to be in the background. Smush that onto my mat. Add a little bit of water, pick it up with my smusher and just carefully dab it on in that area where I was going to put the letters. And I'll dry that with my hairdryer. I don't want to waste all of this lovely ink here, so I'm going to pick it up with a wet paintbrush and add some splatters, but I don't want it to go over the clean area of the card. So I'll just pop a bit of deli paper over it to protect it, and it shouldn't create a harsh line because it's just splatters. And then while that's drying, so I don't waste any of this ink, I'm going to use it here on this bit of scrap leftover card. There we go, that will be a start of a background for something different. So now that's dry, I'm going to add a bit of pink, and the reason I've chosen these colours is because they happen to be my niece's current favourite colours. And I've put a bit less on my mat because I don't want quite as much pink as I had with the purple, the Shaded Lilac, and that will do for the smushing. I'll get my deli paper again and do a little bit of spattering. And again, I'm going to dry that with a hairdryer. If there are bits that don't really want to dry or they're too intense, then you can roll over some paper towel. I find this better than sort of blotting it up with a bit of paper towel. It stops things smudging and keeps things where they are and just lifts up that little extra paint that you don't want. So more drying. For sparkle, I'm going to add this very pale gold from my Hybrid Prima Metallic Accents palette. Just get that going and splatter it on. Again, I put in the deli paper there to keep the clean half of the card clean, and I think maybe a bit of purple. Not quite so much, but that adds a bit of contrast. Now, is that okay? That would just add a few little splats here and there. That's it. For the die cutting, this needs to be really dry, otherwise it might tear rather than cut, I think. So now what I want to do is get these in the right place on here, ready to run through my die cutting machine. Now, I want them level because I want this to look neat and tidy. So I'm going to use this ruler to line them up, get them flat. Get that ready, and I want to leave space for an eye. So I'm going to move that eye along, make sure there is space there. Oh, I've moved that one now. This is the tricky part. You have to have very steady hands for this, I find. Let's just have a little bit more space and it's okay. Right, let's get you, not the V, get you about there, like that. And then the A goes there. Right, try not to knock anything. And I'm going to get a bit of tape. This is low-tack tape, but I'm going to just put it on my clothes to make it even lower tack, so it doesn't pull up the card underneath the letters. Pop that. We're going to use my regular die cutting sandwich from my Gemini electronic cutting machine. So I've got my clear plate, my plastic shim, my magnetic shim, pop this face down there, and then I've got a Crafter's Companion self-healing cutting mat. This isn't an official sandwich, this is just what works for me. I get less warping of my plastic plates when I use the self-healing cutting mat. There we go, that's worked nicely. What I have to do now is the other eye. I want to peel this back carefully so it doesn't damage my splashy painting. I'm going to leave the dies there for a moment because they'll allow me to line up the eye again. Just take that one out and keep that somewhere safe because I need that. And find my ruler. Oh, that A looks like it went a bit wonky, but never mind, it's a handmade card. Perfection is not what we're aiming for, just something beautiful for someone you love. Okay, so now we can take the rest of these out. Try not to knock that eye. And we'll get that, a little bit of that tape as it's even lower tack now it's been used once. And just pop that there and run it through the machine again. Okay, so that worked out well. So far, everything's gone according to plan. Now, I want my card base, and I'm going to stick this on. I'm going to use glue because I've got to go around all these little bits. Normally, I stick my card panels onto my card bases with my ATG tape runner, because it reduces warping. Wet glue can warp card bases, I find, but because I've got all these little fiddly bits, I think I will use wet glue. And of course it gives me that little bit of wiggle room if I don't get it in exactly the right spot the first time, which quite often is the case. Let's have a look. Am I happy with that? That looks about right, I think. Yeah, that'll do. Now, what I want to do is pop the innards of the letters back. So that will be the O and the A. So I'll pop that in there, and that in there, and that will help me get the placement exactly right. Now, that is not symmetrical, that O. You have to get that the right way up. Okay, pop a bit of glue in there and get that there, and then we can pop out the main part. Same here, a little bit of glue in there. Get this in there, bend it slightly back so we can grab that, and then that is in exactly the right place. Now, off camera, I cut 3 of each letter out of white card because I want to create a stack. And so I'm going to stack them using the all-purpose glue like that, making sure they're the right way around. Get them nicely lined up. So I've got all the letters I need for Olivia. She says yes, there they all are. And I'm going to pop them in their spaces. Oh no, I'm not going to do that just yet. What I'm going to do is put the painted piece on top. So I've actually got 4 die cuts stacked here, one on top of the other. There we go. And I'm going to pop that in there so it's raised up. Another bit of deli paper, and press that down so I don't get sticky fingers or sticky fingers on there. So let's do the rest. Now I've got 2 eyes, so I need to make sure I get the eye in the right place. So that one goes there. So there we go, we've got Olivia raised up there. I really love this look. I think it's somehow both subtle and obvious. Now for the happy birthday sentiment, I'm going to put that on top of the Olivia, like that. And I'm thinking a darker purple to help it stand out, or a white. I think I'll try white first and see what that looks like. Yeah, I don't think the white is going to stand out enough, so I'm thinking maybe a dark purple. Let's colour some card. Could use this wilted violet, distress oxide. I think that will stand out quite well on top of there, and go with the colours that are already there. Yeah, that stands out a lot better, I think. And I think that works well. Might even have that a bit further over, just so we're using the whole width of the card. I think that works. But I do want to give this a bit of shimmer and shine, so I'm thinking a bit of quick heat embossing with clear embossing powder. So to attach that, I'm just going to put a few dobs of glue on the back. It is kind of unsupported at the end, but I don't think that's a problem really. Again, this is not going to go through the post. I'm going to hand it over so it doesn't have to be too robust. I do need to find the dot for the eye though. It may or may not still be in there. It looks like it is. Let's have a look. Get that on there. That's not shiny. I might just put a little tiny bit of glossy accent on that to give it some shine. There. Or it might not even be noticeable. Just to give that white a little bit of support, I'm going to put a glue dot behind it. I've got a tiny weeny one here and I'm going to roll it so it's more of a glue blob and stick it on the back of the Y. And just plonk that down there like that. I think that works. For a little bit of extra sparkle, I'm going to add a few of these little gems in the splashy bit, just to create some dimension and sparkle and birthday excitement. Ooh. But I want to keep it in the splash zone, as it were, so it's not taking up this part of the card. And I've got some teeny tinier ones here. That's it. Day 2 of Die Cut December is done and dusted, and I've got my niece's birthday card all ready. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you join me for the rest of Die Cut December. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.